Now to campaign politics. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney scored a governor's endorsement today on the heels of last night's Republican presidential debate in Sioux City, Iowa. Hari Srinivasan has the latest on the race for the GOP nomination.
Mitt Romney may not be leading in the polls, but he's far ahead of the Republican pack when it comes to endorsements. And this afternoon in Greenville, South Carolina, he picked up another one, Nikki Haley, the state's first-term governor.
I didn't want anyone that had any ties to Washington, which it's chaotic enough. And what do we know? The biggest chaos we know right now in this country is Washington, D.C., and we don't want any more of it.
The Haley nod came a day after Romney and the 6 other Republican contenders met in Iowa for their 13th debate of the year, and the last one before next month's caucuses.
You're trying to dramatize this.
The event, broadcast on the Fox News channel, included a number of sharp exchanges.
He personally, as governor, issued gay marriage licenses.
Between candidates looking to break into the top tier and the leading frontrunners, Romney and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich.
Very novel.
Minnesota Representative Michelle Bachmann was asked if she could prove her accusation that Gingrich's work with mortgage giant Freddie Mac amounted to influence peddling.
It's the fact that we know that he cashed paychecks from Freddie Mac. That's the best evidence that you can have.
That's just not true. What she just said is factually not true. I never lobbied under any circumstance.
You don't need to be within the technical definition of being a lobbyist to still be influence peddling with senior Republicans in Washington, D.C. to get them to do your bidding. And the bidding was to keep this grandiose scam of Freddie Mac going.
Gingrich's past work for the government-sponsored enterprise and the $1.6 million he received as payment also came under fire from Texas Congressman Ron Paul.
It's literally coming from the taxpayer. They went broke. We had to bail them out, so indirectly that was money that he ended up getting. They're still getting money from us.
Governor Romney just yesterday said...
Gingrich was also asked by the moderators to respond to recent attacks leveled by Romney, that he's an unreliable conservative.
It's sort of laughable to suggest that somebody who campaigned with Ronald Reagan and with Jack Kemp and has had a 30-year record of conservatism is somehow not a conservative.
But former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum said Gingrich's record warranted additional scrutiny.
Speaker had a conservative revolution against him when he was the Speaker of the House. I had conservatives knocking down my door because I was the effective advocate for the principles that they believed in.
Governor Romney.
Fox News moderator Chris Wallace pressed Romney to explain his shifting views on abortion, gay marriage, and gun rights. Romney asserted that he had been consistent on 2 of the 3, admitting to only a change on abortion.
I've learned over time, like Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush and others, my experience in life over, 17, 18, 19 years has told me that sometimes I was wrong. Where I was wrong, I've tried to correct myself.
Texas Governor Rick Perry, meanwhile, made an unusual appeal to religious voters, likening himself to Denver Broncos quarterback Tim Tebow, a born-again Christian with a knack for comebacks late in the game.
I hope I am the Tim Tebow of the Iowa caucuses.
With recent polls in Iowa showing the race there narrowing, the contest could still be anyone's game.